You're listening to Storage Nerds Podcast, where we unravel the best-kept secret of the real estate investing world, the storage industry. Join the grassroots guru in self-storage, Stacy Rossetti, in insightful discussions about finding, funding, and running these spaces, allowing you to yield the highest returns possible. Get your foot in the door on self-storage and discover how to properly purchase facilities, negotiate with sellers, and close the deal without worries. Start unpacking that investment wisdom with Stacy right now.
All right, so what we're going to do today is I wanted to just work on Google Maps. Let me see here. I don't know why I'm on this. Okay, yeah. So Google Maps, and then what I want to do is show you how to find storage facilities on Google Maps. Okay. Let me see here now. So everybody, we all know Google Maps. Google Maps is the fastest growing search engine in the country. And I'm going to move all these things over so I could see. Yeah, okay. The fastest growing search engine in the country, right? And the truth is that if you don't have your business on Google Maps, like if you own a business, if you don't have it on Google Maps, then you're missing out on basically, free marketing, really. So what you want to do is wherever you're at right now. So I live in Tallahassee. Oh, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. Great. And that's exactly where I live. And I live in Tallahassee. All right. So we're going to just right now, real fast, we're going to search storage Tallahassee. Now so when we look at Tallahassee, the population of Tallahassee is real fast. The population of Tallahassee is around like maybe 250,000 to 300,000 people in the greater Tallahassee area. Okay, so that would be considered a primary market, right? If you're above a couple 100,000, then you're really considered a primary market. Okay, so I live in a primary market. Okay, and then going from Tallahassee to Jacksonville, right, on the 10. Jacksonville obviously is a primary market, but even Tallahassee is considered a primary market. But then you can see when you're on Google Maps, you can see Monticello, Madison, Live Oak, Lake City, right? And when you're at a certain area, when you're like pulled out, from Google Maps, play around with Google Maps and just kind of look in and out and see how it works, right? So obviously when you're like, way out, you're only going to be seeing like major cities. Okay. Right. So these are all the major cities of the United States. So New Orleans, Tallahassee doesn't even pop up, like Atlanta, Jacksonville, Tampa. All right. So we all know these are like, these are definitely primary markets. And then as you slowly just zoom in, right, more and more cities start popping up. Okay, so you've got Naples, Fort Myers, Sarasota, Kissimmee, Daytona, Pensacola, Panama City. Here's Tallahassee. Tallahassee is a little bit darker, right? Mobile is a little bit darker. Birmingham and Montgomery, Jackson, Shreveport. Then you've got like Tuscaloosa here, smaller. Like it's pulling up, but it's not, dark. Okay, I would consider these areas still primary market, right? If it's pulling up, at the same levels, maybe these smaller ones, even though like, Daytona, St. Augustine, Kissimmee, even though the population of these towns, like we could look up St. Augustine. St. Augustine population. What out here? It's 15,000. All right. But the metro area of the whole area is still going to be primary market, right? It's right on the water. Let's do, what was another one that we looked up? Let's look up like Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa is 100,000, right? So that's like primary market. So, when you're looking through St. Augustine, Daytona, this is probably all from Jacksonville down. I mean, honestly, from Jacksonville to Miami along the beach, it's really all primary market. Okay, and then Pensacola, Gulf Shores, Panama City. It's an expensive area. I mean, this is all really primary market. But one way that you can really tell if an area is primary market, let's just say that we zoom into Tuscaloosa, right? And we zoom into this area, Tuscaloosa. What we could do is just do storage. I've never looked at Tuscaloosa. Let's see, Tuscaloosa. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when you pull into, like, when you look at Tuscaloosa, the question is, what kind of storage facilities are in this town? Right? What kind of storage facilities? Are there any bigger players? Right? Are there any bigger players? So are there any, Monsters or Life Storages or CubeSmart? So here you can see, here's one CubeSmart. CubeSmart is really, honestly, like, of all the players in storage, CubeSmart is really kind of one of the players that kind of comes into, like, smaller primary markets, which I call sub-primary. So like Tuscaloosa would be like a sub-primary market. So obviously Jacksonville or whatever, Birmingham and Mobile are big, players, right? But then you've got this is like a Tallahassee. It's like a sub-primary market. And these are really good areas. I mean, these are great areas to invest in, but the truth is like these types of areas here, these facilities are going to be expensive, right? They're going to be expensive and it'll be bigger players, right? I don't know. Let's look at D&D. D&D doesn't have a thing here. Let's look at Metro Mini Storage. Let's see what this looks like. Let's look at this one. This is a good looking one here. And let me see. Probably not even in the right place. Or no, it's indoor. This is probably indoor storage, I bet. I feel like I've been here, but you know what? Every storage facility looks the same to me, honestly. Okay. All right, so I can't tell where it's at. So this one, who knows? But it's probably, I bet you it's indoor climate control is what it is. And then we've got like All American Storage is right here. Let's look at this one. Yeah, it seems like big, huge storage facility. Let's look at, not pods, let's look at Metro Mini Storage right here. Okay, so here's this one. Yeah, this is indoor climate control and outdoor. It's all gated. We got a man in a suit trying to sell something. All right, you always want to, like, if you have a business, like, you want to be looking at your pictures of what people tag you into, because you can always come in and clean all that up too. You don't want some random thing being tagged. As a storage facility owner, we have to do this on a regular basis. Okay, here's another one. Affordable mini stores, a small one, but it's got a car wash in it. Right, just by clicking around, and looking at all these storage facilities, it really kind of gives you an idea of like what the market looks like here too, so there's some smaller players here, but there's also some bigger players here. So Tuscaloosa, I would consider honestly like a sub-primary to a secondary market. I'd really consider this a sub-primary. But for me, trying to get into like bigger player areas, like I can afford typically, like, I can afford right now, let's say like a 1.5 to a $3 million deal. That's what I can afford. Okay. So like this would be the perfect area to be looking for like these types of deals. And this is the 100,000 people in this area. There's probably more people in the metro area, but 100,000 just in Tuscaloosa. And it's right outside of Birmingham, but this might be a good secondary to sub-primary location to be investing in. Okay. And then you want to you want to, when you're zooming in, I'm just going to X out of this. We don't see that. But when you're zooming into Google, you're really playing around with just zooming in and out of Google to give you an idea of what this market looks like. So if we consider, let's say, if we just stay here in Alabama, we could see Huntsville, Birmingham, and Montgomery and Mobile. We all know are the major players. Tuscaloosa pops up. So Tuscaloosa is getting all up in there, right? And then we can zoom in a little bit more and we could see all these, here's Oxford and Tupelo, Meridian, Starkville. These are probably going to be secondary markets. Auburn, okay, Dothan, right? Yeah, I had a guy that owned 6 storage facilities in Dothan. He wanted to sell them to me for $29 million. All right, so just think about that, right? You know, like even though it's a little tiny secondary town, maybe 100,000 people, right? Prices are still expensive. Dothan. So Dothan is 75,000 people. All right. And he wanted to sell me 6 storage facilities for $29 million. I wonder if he ever sold them. But, you know, all right. So that's only 75,000. These towns right here, Dothan, Meridian, Hadesburg, Laurel, Monroe, Ruston, these are all secondary market towns. Secondary markets. We have primary, secondary, and tertiary markets. Secondary market's going to be like I said, 75,000 to, you know, maybe I'll say 50,000 to like maybe 200,000, you know, something like this, or 150,000. It's like kind of like that middle area. Okay. And these are going to be like still expensive areas. You know, it's going to cost, you know, it's going to cost for nice facilities in this area, it's going to cost money. Okay. So for instance, like I was looking in Tallahassee, I was like, I want to buy some storage facilities in Tallahassee. I mean, the cheapest facility I could find in Tallahassee was like $4 million. Okay. So like, it's probably the same way with all these other ones, Dothan and Albany, but in the same respect, in some of these secondary markets, you might be able to find like maybe that mom and pop that just never sold. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that one family that's just like, no, I want to like, you know, send, you know, give it to my kids when I'm younger. And then the kids get it and they're like, screw this, I don't want this anymore. Right. Or something. So, you know, you don't want to discredit if you can afford more expensive facilities. You don't want to discredit these kind of secondary market cities in your state. And as you zoom in, you'll be able to look, you know, and so you'll be able to see these. So Albany's kind of growing, actually. The Tifton Albany area is growing. Dothan is growing. And, you know, but then you can see as I zoom in, like here's secondary markets, very, very good secondary markets. But then you're starting to get into what I call tertiary markets, right? And these are like populations of like 50,000 or less. Okay, 50,000 people, 50,000 people is actually kind of a nice sized city. Honestly, it's not really too small. And, you know, and then all these towns, like, let's just say like Greenville or Tuskegee. What is Tuskegee? Tuskegee has 8,000 people in it, you see? And you can play around with the population. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the population all the time of storage facilities. I'm looking at the population to see what it is. And then I'm looking to see where this is. Like Montgomery and Columbia are probably not too far away from each other. And then like Auburn and Tuskegee are right in the middle. So Auburn is 78,000 people, right? So that's a good sized town. Let's check out Auburn. All right. Auburn, Opelika. I think Auburn, isn't that where like some famous store, like football playing is? I'm like not a sports person at all. So I feel like Auburn is famous for something though. And if you put it in the chat, then we can know. I'm sure somebody will put it into the chat. Okay, good. Okay, good. And so you can see here, like this area, I mean, honestly, this would be a very good area to like invest in because you see how it's like Montgomery to Columbia. And then between, you've got some good sized towns in the middle, right? You've got Tuskegee, Tallahassee, Notasulga, Auburn, Opelika. Like this would be a very good area to be investing in, you know, just like, hey, I'm going to build out my portfolio and I'm going to be like kind of somewhere in this little area right here. That's right. That's in mind. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. You don't have to have it like all in the same city or whatever. Like you could be, you know, really, this is a good little like triangle right here. So Auburn is Opelika. Oh, no, Opelika's got 30,000. So between like Auburn and Opelika, there's like 100,000 people here. I mean, there's probably even way more. I mean, it's a very good area. This is, you know, and then you want to say like, okay, is this considered like secondary market or primary market? So all you have to do is search storage and then Auburn, right? Auburn, Alabama. And then like you start looking at the facilities like Life Storage is in Auburn. Right. Life storage extra space is in Auburn, right? So like when life storage and extra space are all in your up in your area and stuff, like that's a good, I would be considered like a primary market. I would say maybe primary to sub-primary. I don't think extra space and life storage really get into like secondary markets. You know, they want to have a lot of people. They want to have like a high population, you know, like they're not even in Tallahassee, like life storage and there's like more, you know, just think about that. There's like 250, 300,000 people that live in Tallahassee, and like life storage and extra space are just not even in that city. Okay. But they're here in this area. So obviously this area, there's a higher demand for storage. You know, there's more, you know, so it's going to be more expensive. You know, I can imagine this area is probably going to be more expensive to even buy than Tallahassee is, because there's so much primary market competition in here. Okay. So, because like the reason I'm bringing this up is because like when I talk to people, the most of the time when they think of storage, this is what they're thinking about. Like, hey, I can go buy a storage facility, you know, 20 minutes away from me that I can just manage. But the truth is if you're living in like a primary market or a secondary market, these facilities are expensive. They're expensive. Probably the land is a little bit more expensive, and even building them is a little bit more expensive. And it's just expensive, you know? So we want to be focusing on like standalone secondary markets and tertiary markets. Unless you can come up with $1 million cash to buy a property, I bet you these properties here are quite expensive. Okay, so now even me looking in Google Maps and just trying to familiarize myself with the market, the storage market, I'm getting a better idea. I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's way too much competition in this area and it's going to be more expensive. This is not the area that I want to be in. All right, so where should I be in my state? You know, what area should I be focusing on in my state? Is it really where I live? You know, or is it going to be somewhere else? And I'm telling you, every week I talk to people that are interested in getting into storage nerds, and they all have in their mind that they want to buy something near a primary market. And the truth is unless you have a lot of money, it ain't going to happen. All right, it's not going to happen. Okay. And then what happens is that you're looking in the wrong markets. And what happens is that you get frustrated with storage, and you get frustrated that you're not buying anything, and then you just give up. But the truth is if you actually are looking in the right market and understanding the storage market, then you will be able to find something that's within the price range that you can afford. Okay, so that is my advice, and that's why I'm bringing this up. Primary, secondary, and tertiary market is like super important when you're first starting out, to understand the concept and really get out there and start looking. And it's just, you know, being in a primary market is like super expensive right now. I mean, storage, everybody wants to be in storage. You know, back when I started 7 years ago, nobody gave a crap about storage. All right, now everybody wants to be in it, so all the prices are expensive. And I just got it, you know, I just got an email from somebody that's like, hey, I'm just going to hold off till the end of the year to buy something, you know, because like the market's crazy and expensive, and like, you know, I can't find stuff. But the truth is like I'm finding deals all the time. But the reason why I'm finding the deals is because I'm looking in the right markets. I am looking in the markets where I can find and afford the facility. All right. And that's why I'm buying so many facilities. If you're looking in the wrong market, it's gonna really just get you upset. Okay. All right. That's my soapbox, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Now let's go. So now we've looked in Auburn. We already know that there's like there's way too much competition. Extra safe storage loves Auburn. Live storage loves Auburn, right? So it's going to be more expensive for the storage facility. So I would not be looking in here unless you can spend a couple $1 million on storage. All right. Now let's say, okay, so obviously I can't afford that, but maybe I can afford this area. Let me see. So now let's try to do storage in Nottasuga. Oh, see, yeah. Okay, now we're talking. All right, so now we're getting sponsored. This is just like whatchamacallit, an ad. So we don't worry about this one, skip past this. So now we've got FSC Buildings, which is probably a company that builds storage facilities, which is very good to know. And then you've got Tallahassee Storage, which is that other town right here. This one had like, I think, what was it, like 8,000? What does Notastuga have? Did I look that one up? What kind of a name is Notastuga? Is it not a what the hell is the name of this city? What was it called? Notasulga. No. Crap, I don't know. Yeah, Notasulga. Okay, 916 people. Perfect. All right, now we're talking. All right, it sounds like it's not a lot, but the thing is that you're in an area where I'm telling you there are a lot of people that live in this area. And from going from Montgomery to Columbus, and then Opelika and Auburn and these little tiny towns and stuff, I'm telling y'all, there's a lot of people living in this area. So then you say, okay, I can't afford Auburn because, it's too expensive. And I can't obviously afford Montgomery or Columbus because those are bigger cities. So let me, look at these little tiny towns in between this area. So that is how I'm coming to this area. That's why I'm coming here, right? So now we have Tallahassee Mini Storage. We've got West Tallahassee. Look at that. That's a good looking storage facility. That's a Tallahassee Mini. Oh, look at that. It's all gravel, looking good. Owner's taking care of it. It's got a big sign there. So I mean, this is a very good area for you to be looking at, to get started in. Simply Storage Acres. This is the climate control, indoor climate control. We've got Stock and Barrels. Okay, this is like a gun shop. Okay, I don't know why that's coming up with storage, but and then Tallahassee Storage. Look at this. See, Tallahassee Storage. Look at this. See, this guy, this is my kind of a guy here. Tallahassee, he's got the north, he's got the east, he's got the central. He hasn't gone down south yet though, but he's taken over the town, So so this is a good area. We got BJ Enterprises. What does BJ look like? BJ, look at this one. BJ's got it's a storage facility. Look, there's a hidden gem right here. The hidden gem. It's a storage facility right here all by itself. So let me go to B and J here. So what I do is, this is exactly what I'm doing, is I'm just looking in these towns, right? I'm looking in these little tertiary market towns in between some bigger towns. And then I'm looking at the storage facilities and I'm familiarizing myself with what kind of facilities are in the area, right? I don't want to be going over here to life storage. This is primary market, right? We don't want to be here. We can't go there. So we're going over here. ABC Mini. Look at this, a good looking storage facility. Look, it's got 1 star. Did you see that? 1 review. It's got 3 reviews, 1 star. Perfect storage facility to be calling and talking to the owner. He don't want this thing. He don't want the storage facility. If he wanted it, he'd be running it better. There's not even a website. No website. All right. And it's actually not really too bad. I mean, look at this thing. It's kind of bigger. It's got a nice sign on the front, but the owner sucks at managing this thing. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to ABC and I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to go to satellite imagery. And I'm going to try to find the storage facility. Where did it go? Let me start all over. There it is, ABC. See if I can find it. Yeah, here it is, ABC. ABC Storage. Look at this. It's a good looking storage facility right here. Okay. Come in, it's fenced, it's gated. All right, it's right off a main road, right next to a Dollar General. In a little tiny town, but there's always storage facilities in these little tiny towns. Okay. And guess what? There's most likely going to be, if there's one, there's probably another one somewhere. So now right? We've got this one ABC Storage to start out with. He got on Google Business, which is amazing, because the truth is to get onto Google Business, it also ain't easy. It ain't easy to get onto Google Business. If anybody's ever put a business on Google Business, Google My Business, right? Is it called Google My Business, or what is it called? Google My Business. Gosh, yeah, Google Business Profile is what it's called now. So, but back in the day when I first started, it was Google My Business. And to get listed on Google, you got to have a Google account. You got to go through the step-by-step process. You got to fill out your profile. You got to get a card. You got to sign in. You may have to do a video walkthrough. It's like a whole thing. All right. It's a whole thing. Okay. So to get onto Google Business is not easy. So he at least did that, but then he couldn't figure out how to get his website or how to do a website. He couldn't figure out reviews. He can't figure all this out. And the reviews say very suspicious, burglarized, not a trustworthy business, worst place on earth. Do not store your belongings here. Students, stay away from this place. Oh, so there's some students, huh? Their sign is dilapidated. They don't even answer their phones, right? So this is like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Nothing's happened in the meantime. All right. So this would be a very good one. Call the owner and see if they want to get an offer. Okay. And you always, when you call the owner, is you just ask them if they want an offer. Like, you do not ask them if they want to sell their property, right? Because nobody wants to sell their property, especially some bloke that's just like, sitting there watching some TV and gets a phone call. He's not gonna be like, oh yeah, let me sell my property. They're always open to getting an offer on their property. Okay. So that's kind of what we do. But then now we're in these little tiny towns, like we need to be looking for another storage facility is what we need to be doing. And then what I do is I just spend some time virtually driving for storage in these little tiny towns. And this is exactly what all of my virtual assistants do as well. So I don't do this anymore. I delegated this out, right? You could delegate this out too as well. You could always hire somebody to do that, or you could hire my team to do it if you want to do it, if you don't want to sit there and do it. But I mean, you just get in here and you look and say, look, here's a trailer park, right? And there is nothing wrong with owning a storage facility in a little tiny town. And in fact, the truth is there is not enough storage facilities. All right, so I'm just kind of virtually driving for storage. And see, we're in the downtown area here right now. So maybe there might be a storage facility here. Let's see. A lot of times they are like right in this little downtown area. So you just have to look for, and you can even get a building in here. You can convert if you wanted to do that. You could get in and you could convert a building. There's probably a whole bunch of buildings in here that are just sitting here and needing some TLC. You know what I'm saying? Look, here's a storage facility right here. This is not even on Google Maps, right? So this is Tusky Supply. I'm not sure if maybe who owns this or what I would do next is I would drop down and I would take a look at it. Let's see, actually, is this a storage facility? Yeah. I can't tell because it's a big ass huge wall here. Let me see. Yeah, look, here's a storage facility. Look at that beautiful storage facility right there, just sitting there, and not even on Google Maps. Gated, fenced in, got some donations up there, keypad, got a little parking going on here. It's a very good first facility to buy to get your feet wet. Sitting in a little tiny town in the middle of Alabama, in the middle of the two cities. All right. You can go and just see it. And then now you have to do is find a sign. If you can't find the sign, typically a lot of times you'll be able to find, like, there's not even any sign anywhere. There's like no sign. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no sign here at all. It's like, we don't even know. It's right next to an apartment complex. All these people need storage. There's a big building. I mean, there's a big wall here. They built the wall. But there's no sign. You see, there's no sign. So this is where Crexy comes in 213 West Water Street. I get into Crexie. Now I have Crexie, I have like the investors Crexie. I don't have the sales Crexie. Okay. So I pay like $150 a month. And actually it's $200 a month for Crexie is what it costs. To get in and get all the data. I use Crexie is what I do. You don't have to use Crexie if you want. You can find a cheaper way to do it, you know, but I use Crexie because it's like the best way to go. 213 West Water, 213 West Water in right here. No, Water Street in Tuskegee, Alabama. It's not coming up. Okay, hang on. Let's try to find a different way to do it. Okay, Water Street, Tuskegee. No, it's not coming up. 213 West Water Street is here. Let me see if I can find a better street, a better way. It's West Water Street is right here. What's the street? This is North Main Street. Let me just look up Tuskegee. Can I find Tuskegee? It's not like it's a big city. Tuskegee, Alabama, right here. Let's do it. And okay, here it is. Yeah, so now we're here. It's the same thing. Let me see. Can I find Water Street on this? Yeah, here's this like main area. Yeah, here it is. I found it. Okay. Can't remember how to do this. Honestly, y'all. I'm a horrible teacher because I can't remember how to do it. I got people that do it for me. Is this the Coin Laundry? Is this it? This is Dibble. This is Main Street. Oh yeah, see here. Now it's coming up. Okay, I knew it was something like that. Is this Water Street? Let's look right here and see. Is it going? Is it like curving? Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's Dibble Street. Oh yeah, see it comes into Dibble. So it might have been on Dibble. Water Street. So here's Dibble. And let me see here. Let's do this actually. Yeah. Okay. Is this the one that we wanted to be on? Hang on, I'm trying to figure this out, y'all. So hang on. But this is exactly what I'm doing. You see how it kind of takes a little bit of time. Oh yeah, there it is. I found it right here. Here it is. This is it. Zinnia Properties. Okay. So this is what I do is I just go right on to Crexie. It's actually, it looks like he's encroaching onto like the side of the street area. But anyways, I click on this and then I view the property record. Here's our storage facility. Isn't that beautiful? Such a beautiful looking storage facility. And then you can see like you can get all the information. It's like the property report card. It's 11,000 square feet, 12,000 square feet. It's a big, huge storage facility. That's good. Zinnia Properties owns it, and they live in Prattville, Alabama. Okay. And then you can just like view the contact information, right? And this doesn't have any, no, oh, it doesn't have any contact information. So you don't, so we can't do that, but we can look and see, like they're paying property tax on $200,000. And gives you the foot traffic. It gives you climate factors. If it gives you flood zones and stuff like that is what it does here. But a lot of times in Crexie, it will give you the contact information. This one, it does not give you the contact information. Let's click on this and just see what it looks like. Owner details. Let's see if anything comes up. This is all like public data. All right. But Crexie is just probably one of the easiest ways to find it. Yeah, so he may live, look, registered address. This one is in St. John's, Florida. Right, this is the registered agent. It may be an attorney, who knows, but it's the registered agent. So you can contact them. Oops. You have to go through and click on all these. And here's another one, Vickery Christian that lives in Smyrna. This is Zinnia Properties. These are all the Zinnia properties that are coming on. So you could contact them and be like, hey, like, I'm just wondering, do you own the storage facility in Alabama? Trying to figure out, you know, who the owner is. All right. Another way that you could do it is you could, like, this is you could go onto the county site, right? And then here's their address. You could mail them. You could obviously mail them an address, mail them a letter, or you can skip trace that address. Another thing that you could do is skip trace the address and see, see Zinnia Properties, if they own any other properties. You could click on this and see if they know, if they have any of this, any information, if they own any other properties. So Cruxy is a really good area for starting off to find owners. I would say most of the time, it's like 80% of the time with Cruxy, you'll be able to find the property information, but about 20% you won't be able to. So then you have to like dig deeper. But actually this property, I mean, honestly, if you have to dig deeper into a deal to find this owner, how many people actually do that? Nobody does that, right? So you know what I'm saying? So like, this would be a very, very good property to like really dig deep in. And remember, this is an off market, I call this hidden market property. So this property is not on Google Maps, right? So you want to just, you can do that. You can search virtually for storage facilities and see if you can find any other ones. And you just go through these little tiny towns and try to see if you can even find any more. And then you build your list. So this is exactly what my virtual assistants do. They are virtually driving for storage inside the town, finding storage facilities and putting them onto their list. And then, getting into Cruxy and looking up the information, or going into the county information and looking it up and trying to skip trace and find the owner and see if they want to get an offer. Okay. And this is really virtually driving for storage. All right. And you could do that. Here's ABC storage. This looks like it's maybe some subdivisions in here, but there might be some storage in here, so you could get in and just look, and you slowly build your list. So you can do this, or you can hire somebody to do this. But getting into these tertiary markets, or even secondary markets, you can do this. Okay. So that's like getting into these smaller areas. And you can, like, on Google Maps, just like I said, you're going to click on this, like, this is Redland Storage. He's got 3.7 stars, right? No website, right? So not having a website, first of all, not being on Google Maps is like, an A. And then being on Google Maps, but not having everything filled out properly, that's like a B. And then like having some really bad reviews and stuff, that should also be like an indicator that, hey, I should be calling these people because they may not be into it at all. You know what I'm saying? So then you're going to contact them that way. And, and then you're going to slowly go through these little areas. So first of all, you're going to figure out what market and what areas would be good to be doing this, right? Primary, secondary, tertiary. So these are like really kind of tertiary markets. Let's see if we can figure out real fast, like a good secondary market. Let's see, what about Prattville? Prattville's like, I guess, is Prattville like a secondary market? I'm not sure. Prattville storage. Okay, yeah, so we got some stowaway, ABCs, AAA, Prattville, mini storage, Pratt and Mill. Here's Prantmont. Here's Prantmont. So this one's got like, yeah, so this sounds like it's kind of a secondary, tertiary. Here's the storage right here. Got some down there, got here. Maybe got a little house on the property to rent out. Here's a little office. There's no reason to have an office here, honestly. But I'm sure if it has an office like this, like, owners sitting in there watching TV all day. Okay, look, he's got phase 2. This may be owned by the same person, or this is a different person. Okay, but there's something right here. This might be the same. Look, the phone number's right here too. That's the thing about like driving for storage. Like, just call these people. right? 850-1592. You know it's old when there's no area code there too, right? And this is actually kind of a rather large storage facility. And then this one right here. So this is a different phone number, C334. So these are two storage facilities right next to each other. So you can contact them. And Prattmont, oh yeah, so Prattmont is on there. Prattmont's on there. Is the one right next to it on there? No, see, the one right next to it is not on there. It's not on Google Maps at all. So that's another hidden one, right? So this is the facility. So we're not sure if all that's owned by one person or if these two right here are owned by a different person, you know? Yeah, see, this is it, because this is two different phone numbers. So this might be owned by somebody else than this one. Okay. But I'm telling you, just by using Google Maps, really just playing around with it, you can learn so much about your storage market. I mean, just sitting here and playing around and doing this and building your list. Put this one on here, put this one. This is 923 and this is 933, you know, Davis Street or whatever. Okay, you can really learn a lot by your market by using Google Maps. So there's, like I said, there's the I'm in Prattville is where I'm at. Prattville has a population of Prattville is 38,000 people. That's a lot of people. That's a big town, you know. Need some storage in that town. And you could see that there's a lot of storage going. This must be the main street, right? There's a lot of storage over here. There's a couple of them going over here. There's a whole lot of nothing going over here. So I'm not sure if maybe this area is just, there's a high school. Maybe it's just not being built out yet. So, but this is a good one. This would be a very good secondary, you know, primary to secondary market, maybe a sub-secondary market, maybe is what it would be. Okay, that you could get in, look at, build a list, and then add all these on here, you know, mark them as A's, B's, and C's, and then, you know, drive for storage and virtually drive for storage and see if you can find storage facilities that are really not on Google Maps. You know, that's really the key, is like inside these areas, there may be there's a lot of subdivisions going up. It looks like a lot of subdivisions are being built like out in this area. You know, and you can just look and see if there's any storage. Look, here's a storage facility. So this is what they look like. You know, once you start getting to know them, you could tell, like, he's got climate control and non-climate and parking. That's a good looking storage facility right there, huh? Let's drop down, take a look at it. Let me come over there. Can I stop right there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Oh, look, it's got a nice big thing. Why did you build that? Oh no, maybe this isn't included. Here's the storage right here. You see, oh yeah, here's the storage facility right here. It's got this whole area. It's outdoor. It's outdoor. It's all outdoor storage. It doesn't have climate control. And then he's got some more units here. It's a big storage facility right there. And that's a little tiny town. It's a big storage facility. You know what I'm saying? So just can't really get to know your market. You know, find the right market to spend your money. That is the whole purpose of today. Find the right market to spend your money. And just know that primary market is not a good area to be in, especially right now. It's too expensive. There's a lot of turnover in primary market, honestly. There's a lot of turnover. And, you know, get into those secondary and tertiary markets. Those are very good places to start, okay, for your first facilities. Okay, so that is me and my team virtually driving for storage. That is how we're doing it. We're building our list, writing it on there. We actually use Pipedrive is what we use to manage all of our leads. But you don't have to use Pipedrive. You can just put it on a spreadsheet and then just make sure that you're following up. If you call and no one answers, that doesn't mean that you don't call them again. That means that you call them the next day. All right. You keep calling. The key is in the follow-up. The key is in how often you call and in the follow-up. And you talk to the owners. You can use Crexy to get a hold of the contact information for the owner, or you can skip trace and do a different way if you want to do it that way. Okay. We try to find facilities that are not on Google Maps, the hidden market, right? And then if they are on Google Maps, what do they look like what do they look on the business page? Do they have a website? Do they have stars? Do they have reviews? This kind of thing. Okay. Any questions, any thoughts on that? That is virtually driving for storage. Okay. Just a quick reminder that I teach every Wednesday for free, but you really want to invest in the triad if you have not bought that yet, right? Which is, going to my website, stacyrossetti.com, and then getting the course, right? My course is really going to take you through everything right here. Online course, Super Simple Self-Storage. Click this and check it out. And then the deal analyzer, right? So you want to be able to run your numbers and stuff. So that's there. And then together with the course and the deal analyzer and these trainings every week, that will give you, am I sharing my screen? Yeah, that will give you enough information to do this. Okay. That's what I call my triad. Course, deal analyzer, Wednesdays. Perfect combination. Okay. How do you know how much to offer? Again, you cannot learn everything in 1 hour. All I did today was just show you one of the 15 different ways I find storage facilities. And it took me an hour to do that. Okay. So if you want to learn deal analysis, I highly recommend that you buy my deal analyzer. And inside, when you get the deal analyzer, you get training videos on how to run numbers. On top of that, in the course, you have a whole section on deal analysis. It's like a ridiculous amount of videos that you can watch on deal analysis. Okay. Or you can wait until the next time when I teach it, which I don't know when that's going to be. All right. Okay. This Wednesdays is like the supplement to this is where you can ask your questions, buy the course, and you can have access to me to ask your questions as you're going through the course. The course and the deal analyzer are what really teach you, and I'm here to just kind of supplement. How do you know when an area is oversaturated? Is there a number of facilities and population formula to follow? Yeah, the population divided by the total square footage. Total population divided by total square footage. Okay, total population divided by total square footage. That means you have to find every facility in the area, know the total square footage, and then take the population and divide that. Okay. The truth is nobody knows total square footage of any area. So going by net price or square feet by capita is just not the right way to go. Okay. Knowing the market, understanding the market, and making a really good offer, that's the way that you want to go. Okay. That's basically for today. Okay. I will see you guys in the next Wednesday training session. Okay. Thanks for hopping on. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Storage Nerds. Hope this informative conversation inspired you to go out there and jump into this highly profitable business venture that people rarely talk about. Get more tips on storage space investing at www.stacyrossetti.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and leave a rating. Together, let's build that thriving passive income one storage space at a time. Until next time.